Hokiaguga wahanang kana. Today we're going to be talking about money in Ho Chunk. Before we get started, I have to explain to you guys that if you haven't gone through some of the previous modules, you might be a little bit lost here. So I would recommend going back over, if you're going to come back to this one, going over money, numbers, because you're going to kind of need some of that information and have a little bit of familiarity with the Ho Chunk number system. So if you already have that, if you're already familiar with the Ho Chunk number system, you shouldn't have too much difficulty with this module. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up the share screen. And I did create a PowerPoint presentation for this module. This particular presentation is called Janaga Hikisuke, which just pretty much means how much does it cost? Into a little bit of the definition of Hikisuke. Janaga basically means how much or how many. So talking about money in Ho Chunk. Okay, so Janaga Hikisuke. Learn about the term usage. Learner will learn about the history of Ho Chunk when talking about money. Learners will learn about counting image, and learners will learn about dollar amounts and how much something costs. So the term, it has a few different meanings, but it's all, kind of relative to each other. So Hikisuke is defined as cost or equivalent. It can also mean to be the same as, to match, or to resemble something. So if something looks like something else, you could use that term here, Hikisuke, or they're the same, they look alike, things like that. But obviously for money, we're talking about cost or equivalent. I kind of wanted to go over this, which is Canadian history, just because it gives a little interesting on how Ho Chunks kind of saw money. Now, obviously, this is going to have to be validated because if anything, like I don't use money too much anymore. I use, my debit card for just about every transaction. So at some point, we're going to have to come up with some new terminology for card. I believe that we have some for credit card and checks, but I usually don't use checks, so I don't really know what that is. So we're going to have to come up with some new vocabulary for, for how we deal with money today, which we really don't have right now. But, just a little bit of history about payments and coinage. So the first one is, and the reason I'm putting this on there is because I thought it was pretty interesting. Some of you guys might have some familiarity with this already. And also there might be some, you might hear from an elder that this is incorrect the way I have this, but this is what I got from the book. So to start with, we're going to talk about the penny, which is Zuura-Money, and Shuch just means red. So I guess, that's the way that they saw it. That's what they called it, Zuura-Money. All right, this is where it gets a little more interesting because this is kind of talking about how much things used to cost way back in the day when I guess Ho Chunk started kind of using money, and this is how they viewed, these coins. So the next one is we're talking about the nickel. So what they called this one was Horachka Hikisuke. Horachka Hikisuke, which basically means equivalent or how much a drink would cost. Apparently, I'm not sure if they're talking about like at a bar or something, but I would imagine that's what they were talking about. Horachka Hikisuke. So I guess maybe a drink, used to cost a nickel. Horachka Hikisuke. So all right. So the next one is the dime, which is Waiskup Hikisuke. So Waiskup is basically for bread. So back in the day, a dime is all a loaf of bread would have costed. So they just called the dime Waiskup Hikisuke. And then finally, we have the quarter, which is cha-ha-hi-kisuke. Sometime, or you might actually hear cha-gai-kisuke, but in the book, this is where I'm taking this from. So cha-ha-hi-kisuke, which is cha-ha is a deer hide. So apparently back in the day, you could a deer hide for a quarter. So that's where we get some of the terminology for coins. We also have one more, actually, which is the 50-cent piece. So what they used to call 1 ink hakere. 1 ink hakere. So on the back of the 50-cent piece, you see an eagle. The word quotient word for bird is 1 ink, and it just basically says that there's a bird on the back. 1 ink hakere. Okay. So where we're going from here is we're going to learn how to count coinage. We're talking about change here. So I have 4 boxes. The first one is in English is going to be 62 cents. We have 2 quarters on these. The second is going to be 51 cents. The third is 19 cents. And the 4th box is 52 cents. So the way that we're going to do this is when we're talking about change, we're going to use the term Zuura-Shuch, and then we're going to use the number for how much we have here. So it's pretty simple, I guess, if you are familiar with the Ho-Chunk number system. So the first one, which is 62 cents, we're going to call that Zuura-Shuch Kerapana Hakewe Naganup. So obviously, Zuura-Shuch, talking about the pennies or the amount of change. Kerapana Hakewe Naganup is 62, all right? So the next one is 51 cents. So this is going to be Zuura-Shuch Kerapana Sacha Naga Hijankira. Zuura-Shuch Kerapana Sacha Naga is 19 cents. So it is Hijankichushkuni Hashana. Zuura-Shuch Hijankichushkuni Hashana, 19 cents. And then finally, the 4th one is Zuura-Shuch Kerapana Sacha Naganup. Zuura-Shuch Kerapana Sacha Naganup, 52 cents. Okay. So now that we have that out of the way, we have to go over the bills. We're going to put this all here. Yeah. So so we have a $1 bill, 5, 10, 20, 50, and a $100 bill. So the $1 bill is Zuura-Hija, or you might hear a seasoned speaker say simply Zuura-Hija, Zuura-Hija, or Zuura-Hija. So $5 bill, Zuura-Sacha. $10 bill, Zuura-Kerapanaija. $20 bill, Zuura-Kerapananu. $50, Zuura-Kerapanasacha. And the $100 bill is Zuura-Hogihija. Okay, so Hogihija is the Ho-Chunk word for 100. We didn't go over that, but that's what it is. Zuura-Hogihija, $100. Okay. So finally, this all together if something cost $1.62. Usually at this time I would kind of just put it out there and have the participants kind of go over this and try to figure out what it is, but just because I'm trying to get through this quickly, I'm going to just go over it, and when we meet on Thursday we're going to be practicing this anyways. So if something costs $1.62, we're going to say Zuura-Hija or Hijankira, Zuura-Hija naga Zuura-Shuch Kerapana Hakewe Naganup Hikisuke. I put Hikisuke in parentheses just because you're saying that's how much it costs. But if we're just talking, $1.62, we could leave that off. Once again, Zuura-Hija naga Zuura-Shuch Kerapana Hakewe Naganup. So at the beginning, dollar, naga. In addition to that, Zuura-Shuch Kerapana Hakewe Naganup. So Kerapana Hakewi Naganuka is 62. So the next one is going to be $24.86. So something costs $24.86. We're going to say Juda Kerapana Nuk Naga Job Naga Juda Shuch Kerapana Hadawunk Naga Hakewe Hikiske. It cost $24.86. Once again, Juda Kerapana Nuk Naga Job Naga Juda Shuch Kerapana Hadawunk Naga Hakewe. I know it's a lot. It really is a lot. The final one we have is $12.95. Something costs $12.95. So the way we're going to say this is Jura Nukushana Nagakerapan Hichushkuni Nagasacha Hikise. Jura Nupashana Nagakerapana Hijankichushkuni Nagasacha Hikiske. Okay, so that's basically it. We went through that pretty quickly. So if you need to, or if you feel you need to go back over it, the video is available for you to do that. So I would recommend, watching it again. If you need some more practice with numbers, you can go on the website, hochunk.org. The video is still there. You can go back over that and practice your numbers. The website also has PDFs that you can download with, anything that we're going over here in the Hoyt A program. So if you need more help with the numbers, you can watch the video, you can download the PDF. It's all there for you on hochunk.org. So that's basically it. Next week, we're going to be talking about how, buying things. So that's where we're headed with this. So we need to, talk about money and learn how much things cost if you're going to buy something. So again, Wednesday, we're going to be talking with the elders, regarding money. Thursday, we're going to be doing some practice. So hope to see you guys then. Facebook Live, you can join us there, or you can join us via the live Zoom. So basically that is it for this week's module. So we'll see you Wednesday and Thursday, hopefully.